Initiating podcast download. Prepare yourself. Put on your spandex. Lace up your boots. Wrap your wrists. Hide your razor blade. Head to gorilla position. Grease up your hair. Apply baby oil. Okay, apply more baby oil. Get into gimmick. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Have fun and be safe out there, brother. Welcome to I'm on Wrestling. Now your host, Gregory Iron.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Iron on Wrestling with Gregory Iron. I'm your host, Gregory Iron. This is episode 284.
And your tech, damn it.
Yep, you really botched the spot there. Go ahead.
And your pec is tore.
Not my pec.
Your pec scrotum?
Tendon.
Oh.
Pec tendon.
You're the only 10 I see.
Okay, well, no, I'm far from a 10. Hi, I'm Gregory Iron. Of course, this is, what's your name again?
I'm Aaron Bauer.
Aaron
Pardon the
Bauer.
interruption, guys.
Oh, yeah, pardon the interruption. Good
I'm
to
just
see
not feeling
you.
it. I'm sad, dude.
Why are you sad? Why?
This is it for us.
No.
I can't believe that you're retiring. From podcasting and wrestling, or what?
Well, you know.
Talk about it right here, right now, in front of all these people.
Well, first of all, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about John Cena's first, he didn't call it a heel promo. He's not a heel. He's not a babyface. He's a human being. So his first human being promo.
Yeah, I like that.
And we're going to talk about, we're going to answer some of your questions from social media. Of course, Patreon members get first crack at getting their questions answered. Patreon.com/Iron Wrestling, best way to support shows. Start at $3. You get all the bonus audio. You get it early, extended sometimes, extra episodes. $5 get you in on the video content, early bonus video content. $9 for the Zoom chat, which I'm going to try to do. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it before or after the surgery. I think based on my schedule here and trying to get stuff done with one arm, I'm probably going to have to do it Saturday or Sunday.
Well, look, if you need help, on knowing how to do things with just one arm, you come to me, okay?
Okay, but what about
I've got experience,
What about just no arms?
Oh, yeah.
That's where the problem is really coming into play.
Oh, gosh. And just to clarify, because I've had the rotator cuff surgery twice.
Yeah.
That's why I'm one-armed and dangerous.
Well, so I'm gonna ask you some questions about that to try to get an idea of what maybe I can have in store. I'm not laughing at my own situation. I'm laughing because you want to tell everybody what you have playing on the video screen right now while we're trying to record a very serious podcast.
I have to do research for the project I'm doing, and
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do, and it's how to apply a breast pump to milk the breast.
So the video on the screen right now is a very attractive girl.
Woman.
Looks like she's probably in her early to mid 20s, and not only is she using a breast pump, she doesn't just pull out one boob. She pulls out both for some reason. Feels unnecessary.
I like how she pumps this machine that she has, this apparatus, and then there's no milk in there.
Yeah. And then she's like just making like O faces the whole time.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like inappropriate. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Patreon.com/Iron Wrestle. We're actually going to do a bonus podcast this week on the 316 Day magazine that I covered, which was Stone Cold Steve Austin on the cover of the November 1999 issue of The Wrestler. And the headline, if you didn't see the YouTube video, definitely check it out. We're going to be putting the extended version up likely tomorrow when I get some time to edit. As in tomorrow would have been yesterday if you're listening for free on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you download podcasts. It'll be up this week over on Patreon. With
for all you cheap bastards out there.
Yes. So the title, or the headline rather, on the the front of this magazine is Austin's New Powers, Shag Vince, Yeah Baby. And it's got like a tie-dyed psychedelic background, and Stone Cold's very happy. And when I saw that it said Shag Vince, I was like, what? Does anybody even know what shag means? This is
Yeah, I think
what?
shag is like a sexual escapade, correct?
Yep, it is. And also, that was the only article we covered from the magazine. The top header on this, which I want to get into, along with some of the mail-in letters and stuff, it's Arn Anderson and Sid, who had just come back to WCW, and says, will Arn demand a revenge match against Sid? And I'm shocked that is something they went with, considering this is based on a real-life stabbing between Sid and Arn Anderson from 1993.
They were trying to walk that line between shoot and work.
This is when the wrestling magazines start to get like, maybe we should incorporate more real stuff, which I don't know if that was the right decision here with that. But we'll talk about it in depth, patreon.com/IronOnWrestling. But, yeah, okay, I guess start from the top. So last week, we talked about on the show that I had likely tore my pec or my bicep or something. We didn't know for sure. If you've been following me on social media, over on my Facebook, facebook.com/The Handicapped Hero, or Instagram, Gregory_Iron. I've been providing updates over there, and actually, I'm not, I guess he hasn't told me in depth. Josh Excellence had reached out to me and said, hey, me and some of the guys were talking about starting a GoFundMe for you. Is that cool? All I know is that Josh has been doing a lot of the work, and he's been putting a lot of updates up there and everything, and I'm very thankful for that. There's been some money coming in that's going to help me, and it's hard to be serious when I'm watching Aaron watch breast pump videos in the background here, but that's fine. I'm very thankful for all the money that has been coming in, and when I went to the doctor last week, the guy knew of my situation based on what the other doctor that I saw had told him, that fact that if I have this surgery, I'm going to have one arm. But what it came down to was it is a complete tear of my pectoral tendon, completely off the bone, which is crazy because I don't know if I just have a higher tolerance for pain or what. Like, it hurts. But to me, it doesn't, I don't know, like, it doesn't feel like it's a complete tear. Like, it definitely felt like something I've never felt before, but not to the extent where I'm like, oh, yeah, like, this is really horrific pain. There's moments where I, like, stretch a certain way, and I'm like, ouch, that's not good. I can kind of feel my tit sagging a little bit. I can only sleep in certain positions, but it's not, like, overwhelming. It's only recently starting to get black and blue. Yeah, I mean, with your rotator cuff, like, how... Was it an overtime thing or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I could have probably, as a matter of fact, I know I lifted for probably a month until I was officially MRI'd and diagnosed both times.
Yeah.
Like, I was just lifting still.
Sure.
I kept going, something's wrong. But when I noticed something was wrong, maybe this happened to you, was waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
Because you lay on it, you don't know what you're doing when you're sleeping.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. So when it happened, I had already kind of come to terms with, I think this is bad enough to where I need to go to the hospital. And I say this only because, and I don't know if I mentioned this last week, I've been talking to some of the Patreon guys about it, but I'm going to make it public. I made a decision to finally start going to therapy for my mental health, right? Just to discuss some things that I've been going through, whatever. And it's nice to hear things from someone with an unbiased perspective on who I am in my life. So that being said, I had literally maybe 4 days before did some activities with my therapist that involved like building blocks that I might lack in my life. And one of the things that were discussed is something that is common theme with guys like us being in wrestling, ignoring your own self-care. And I don't know if I hadn't looked into this and read up on it, I don't know if I would have actually went to the hospital the next day. It was already fresh in my mind, the idea being, sometimes you have to think about how your own self-care Even if you think you can manage it and deal with it, you have to think about how those things are going to affect other people around you. And I know that when I'm hurt like I am physically, I might be a little short with people, and because I'm frustrated because I can't lift, and I worry about my physique and my routine, and so I'm a little grumpy. So I was consciously thinking about those things, and I was like, I need to just go to the hospital. But I was going to give it a few hours and sleep, right? So that being said, I think I got home from Canada at like 4 a.m., and I think my goal was to get up at like 9 or 10 to go to the ER. And I woke up at about 7 a.m., and I was like, I can't do this any longer. It hurts. And I already, because of my labrum from years ago, I already sleep with a pillow under my arm. And even in that position that I'm used to sleeping in, it was just too much. I could feel the almost like, again, something was like hanging in my body, like the muscle was hanging. And so, fast forward to this past visit over the weekend, and essentially it became, even though you're in a situation where you have one arm, your quality of life is going to decrease if you do not have surgery. You could survive without surgery, but that's one of those rare muscles, I guess, that this is according to the doctor, it doesn't just reattach itself. So you'll still be able to kind of work out, but like not the way you used to. And you'll still be able, I wouldn't be able to do anything athletically, so no wrestling. But then the flip side wasn't much better, because they said it's probably better for your long-term quality of life to get the surgery. However, your lifting is still not going to be the same, and they do not recommend that I wrestle anymore.
Because you're not any good at it?
Well, they don't. I don't know if they've ever seen it in my matches. If they
Okay.
did, this was something they were keeping amongst themselves,
Yeah,
and they were doing that with
bastards.
my best interest in mind.
Oh.
But so essentially, what the process looks like is this Friday, they're going to cut kind of into my pec and under my armpit, and they are going to. What they have to do is like drill holes into my bone, and essentially like bolt and tie the muscles back into the bone, and then I'll be in a sling for 6 weeks, and then I'll be I won't be able to do anything beyond basic pushes and pulls for like 2 to 3 months. I'm hoping that physical therapy starts as soon as I'm out of the sling, and then any type of physical lifting beyond the basic stuff that I'm going to do in rehab, that won't be a 6 to 8 month thing. So it's going to be a long road. The toughest thing is going to be the 6 weeks in the sling. And so, I wanted to kind of get your, what you went through in that, because like, I've been trying to be optimistic, and I appreciate the outpouring of love. That means a lot to me. I went to ESW this past weekend to kind of make the announcement to the live crowd. And I was like thinking to myself, like, what do I even say? And, cause I had like 5-ish minutes. How do I tell everybody, I'm very hurt and I don't know if I'm wrestling anymore in 5 minutes? And I thought of the analogy we talk about a lot on the show of, my whole life I feel like I've endured incredible physical and emotional pain, and I was drawn to wrestling, and then I became a wrestler, and in order to survive that, I have to endure physical and emotional pain. And that's not to say that there weren't good moments in my childhood, and there have definitely been great moments as a wrestler, but sometimes us wrestlers, we endure stupid pain to keep entertaining you. And then I thought about, the sacrifices I made, and I said, I once almost died from a concussion in this ring. I came back, and I like to brag that I've never broken a bone in my life. But I'm pretty sure I did in 2012 when I broke my foot, and I didn't go to the doctor because I'm an idiotic wrestler, but I
What about your penis?
I didn't even mention the penis thing. That probably would have brought the seriousness of the promo down, though.
Broke that bone, huh?
Yeah, but I made sure to mention, I broke my foot earlier in the show. Then I had to go back out, and I wanted to go back out because I wanted the honor and the privilege to share the ring with the great Brodie Lee. And, but sometimes you've got to hurt to heal, and you've got to give yourself time to recover. And, sometimes you just hurt so much that, you got to kind of change your course a little bit. And then I explained to them what the doctors told me. And I basically said, it's always been hard to find the words to convey why I do what I do to people that don't understand wrestling. But as I was thinking about it, the only thing I could come up with was I have gone through the physical and emotional pain that it takes to be a pro wrestler, so that if only for a moment you guys in this crowd could forget about your own pain. And I would never change that. And I basically thank the crowd for allowing me to be something bigger than myself. And, giving me the opportunity to not just be considered a great disabled pro wrestler, but just a great pro wrestler. And, when the video is out, I'll post it on social media or whatever. But it was emotional. I was definitely fighting tears. The crowd gave me a standing ovation afterwards, and I don't know. It was nice, but kind of surreal to have to cut that promo. So I don't know. I'd like to think that I can bust my ass and be like minus maybe any enhancement drugs, Triple H 2002, and come back. But also, when you have doctors telling you about your quality of life already being limited based on your situation, the fear of hurting your only good arm again, it's scary. And I've tried to be optimistic, and so I say all that to say, as we get closer to Friday, Aaron, I am nervous and scared. And I don't know, I'm paranoid I'm going to do something. I'm going to go to brush my teeth or something, and I'm going to fuck up my arm. And so I don't know, so tell me about your experience with the rotator cuff and, how you got through that, because I need to hear it.
I think that you being scared is appropriate. I don't want to act like it's not everything will be fine. They know what they're doing, blah, 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 because there's so much that goes into it, and you psych yourself up and you psych yourself out. I mean, I was just telling you, a month or two ago that I had to go get that colonoscopy, and the night before I'm set to go into surgery, they're like, gather your loved ones and tell them that you'll miss them. What? Yeah. But because anytime you go under anesthesia, though, there's a possibility that you don't come out of it.
Yeah.
So that's already your first hurdle. Second, you think of how long the process is going to take. And I don't even want to start it, because how long will that take? But on the flip side, it goes a lot faster than what you would have thought. All of a sudden, you'll be getting ready to go back to work. And
I don't want that.
Yeah, I know. But I was anxious to get back to work.
Yeah.
And for me, I had expected, with my rotator cuff, whatever, those weren't even the major injuries. The ACL was the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. And I kept thinking I was going to come back to work, because I came back after 2 months, and I was supposed to be out for 8 originally.
That's crazy.
And when I came back, all I thought about was the Triple H return videos. And I thought, man, I'm going to walk in, and this place is going to go nuts for me. And I got there, and it was some crickets, and then some people were like, you walk with a limp now.
Okay. Well, that's nice to just be judgmental right off the bat.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I don't know. None of it was really a good situation at all. I was very upset daily. I was changing my room around every other day, because I kept trying to get things to be where it was easier for me to get to them.
Yeah.
So that's things you'll have to do too with the way your arms are. Now, you're lucky though. You have 2 adults living with you.
Yeah.
I had no one, and I had to take care of children. So you have a little bit of an advantage there. I hope that works for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I hope those people are nice to you, anyways.
Well, we'll see.
One of them's your brother, right?
Yes. And bestest friend Mike bought me a bidet, which my brother's going to hook up. And
How the hell are you getting all this stuff?
What do you mean?
A bidet? Somebody bought you a bidet?
It was like $50 on Amazon. It's not that bad. Wow. But it was very nice, very thoughtful. I was going to buy it myself. So Mike, through Patreon, had sent me the link to it. And I assumed he was like, oh, yeah, you should buy this bidet. And I was getting ready to buy it. He was like, I'm already sending it to you. Don't buy that. So I was like, oh, well, okay. So, yeah. He claims it's drip and dry, so I don't have to wipe. But
right.
But I still bought like a stick off of Amazon that supposedly helps with your
stick.
Not a selfie stick, but a butt wiping stick type deal that I guess you wrap the toilet paper, pre-wrap the roll around, and something to where you can just, I don't know, supposedly it makes it easier to wipe your ass. So I'm just worried about like little stuff like things that you take for granted like when
I said, the ass wiping was something that you don't think of. Just let me jot this down.
Yeah.
You just can't do that now.
Well, even like this morning, I wake up and I'm like, well, I can't see. Let me reach for my glasses. And then I was like, oh, fuck. Like, am I going to be able to just like put my glasses on, or do I have to call my brother from the other room? Like, could you put my glasses on my face?
You're going to end up having to call me to put that contacts in.
Well, there's going to be no contacts in because I'm going to have no physical contact to where I'll need contacts. So, I don't know. I'm just going to try my best to get through this. So, as I said, Friday, I don't have the time yet. But I will.
They should call you 24 hours before.
Yeah, and apparently it takes 90 minutes. They're not going to give me any nerve blockers either because apparently in my situation, usually a nerve blocker, when you wake up, you feel great. But when that happens, because of what they're doing, you wouldn't be able to move your arm for 12 to 14 hours. So they said, well, you're going to need your arm. So either you're going to hurt in 12 to 14 hours after the surgery, or you're just going to hurt when you wake up. So that's great. I'm just going to be in pain already from the start. So, nice. We'll see where it goes. And
what you say, your brother's taking you, or?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, my brother's going to take me, and I'll keep you guys updated. Like, just stay posted to social media, and if you can, share the GoFundMe, and if you can contribute, that's cool too. I appreciate everything thus far, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. But now that we got that out of the way, how are you? How's everything with you? Doing
great.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
No updates? Did you finish Cobra Kai yet?
Almost. I saw they had a scaffold match.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
They were on a scaffold, and Miguel had to drop kick. He was fighting two guys. Multiple guys.
So the tournament started out
handicap match.
It started out like an American Gladiators thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got knocked off of the scaffold, and he was the sole survivor.
Okay.
And then, am I spoiling this for people?
I mean,
it's been out for a year, right?
Spoiler
alert.
That part's
been
out for like 6 months.
The guy's mom is about to die or something. So, Johnny and Miguel, they walk out on their team. Mm-hmm. Talk about no loyalty. Anyways, Daniel, who had gone off in search of Mr. Miyagi's former mob boss or something.
You're really
got trapped into a fucking house with some dogs that were in cages.
Listen. I'm just when you get through the next like 7 episodes by 2027, we can finally talk about the show. I don't know what's taking you so long, but
it's because it sucks.
The first 5 episodes of the last season were slow. The next 5 pick
7
up.
or 8 in.
I know
it
picks up.
Too.
The last 5 are great.
I can't wait for that to happen.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
I'd rather tear my pec tendon.
No, you wouldn't. Hey, but like just to make it clear before we go to a break, Did you have more mobility than you thought? Because in my situation,
Yeah.
they told me like the sling is essentially to remind me not to lift my arm to
past
my
a certain
side,
point. Yeah.
up in front of me.
I was able to do stuff like daily, like within a day. I
Okay.
could move it a little bit.
Yeah.
Enough where I was like, okay, I'm not completely immobile.
Okay.
So I think every case might be different.
Yeah.
Also, when Cody tore his, that's why he could wrestle against Seth Rollins in that Hell in a Cell match, because he wasn't really feeling it. And, you were saying you didn't feel it as much as you thought you would.
Oh, so like, I mean, I'm feeling it, but it's like, it's in movements that you wouldn't expect. And also, Cody has since come out and said he totally lied out of his ass, and it was the most pain that he's ever felt in his life.
Really?
Wrestling with that pec, yeah. So he just lied so he could be in the main event of Hell in a Cell.
Wow.
Because it was his first time to main event a pay-per-view like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Well, now he's the world champion feuding with John Cena. So.
Well, we're going to talk about John Cena's first human being promo, and along with your questions, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll do all that when we come back right here on Iron on Wrestling. Gee golly willikers, Aaron, I don't know if you know this, but my health is not good.
No, neither is your mental health.
No.
But I'm the same.
Yeah.
I think that's why we work so well together.
Sure.
For the remaining few moments that we are together.
Say, does TNT- wait a minute, what?
Nothing.
Does TNT-health.com help with mental health? Because I feel like it doesn't.
Well, I think it does. I'll argue that point.
Really? How so?
Well, when you look good, you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel good, you work good.
Ah.
When you work good, you play good. When you play good, you've got good wood.
I'm sorry. What?
The wood is good in my neighborhood.
Well, I'm telling you.
TNT Health is in my neighborhood this week, baby.
Saying all these things, you're giving this dog a bone. It makes me want to go on TNT-health.com, check out some of the products they got. But
Check out Mike's pictures.
Well, I don't want to give too much of a bone, but I know Mike, not only does he have great supplements over on the website, pre-workout, post-workout, protein, everything in between. He's going to be with you every step of the way, helping you track your macros and helping you attain your goals. And he knows you're not perfect. He doesn't want you to be 100% perfect because perfection is not possible. He only wants 70 to 80% results. He knows you're going to go off and have a cheat day or go out to eat somewhere and you're going to stray a little bit from the diet. But as long as you're focused and motivated, Mike will hold your hand and he'll be there for you. Okay? Maybe he'll give you a little kiss on the
And
cheek.
he won't even judge you for your cheat days. Not
No.
like that ex-wife of mine.
No.
Another cheat day, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm going to go over her house and give her a piece of my mind. But yeah, I got more of the creatine, which I'll have to keep in stock for when I actually start working out again. Hopefully, with my my PT that I'm going to have in the next 6 weeks, I can start getting on a little bit of a lightweight regimen to where maybe I can utilize some of the creatine, some of the glutamine, but I'll definitely be using the protein. And you know what? You can use our discount code over on TNT-health.com, IRONON, IRONON, and you'll save 10% on anything you buy. So go over to the website, check it out. It's free to look, but then definitely buy something and use our promo code, because at TNT-health.com, it's about your health today, not tomorrow.
So, Greg, as much as I'm attracted to Mike and the products that he brings to the table,
Yeah.
I'm equally as attracted to a good friend of mine. And it's not you.
What?
Nope. It's Juan of the De Jesus.
Oh, I feel like his designs trump all the designs out there on the market, right? I feel like he'd be okay with us saying that.
You sound like a loony to me.
What? Juan Ortiz has been in the business for 19 years now, almost 20. Might as well.
Oh,
round
he's
it up.
legal.
2 decades. And, he does artwork for all the prominent figures within professional wrestling.
Call me artwork.
What? You name them. WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan. He's done artwork for him.
All Japan.
Ring of
Big
Honor.
Japan.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but maybe. Possibly.
A lot of Japanimation. Afghanistanimation.
Okay.
All of it.
Not impossible. He did the latest design that we're sending out to Patreon members this week, the Iron On podcasting couch design.
This is the week?
This is the week. It's
Yeah,
going out.
baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for you guys
It's
to get it.
part 1 of 2, because you're also going to be getting another package before the end of the month to make up for December. So be on the lookout for your Patreon packages, but also be on the lookout for good artwork and get it from Juan Ortiz. Just because you might not be a wrestler or have your own podcast or you're not someone that's like prominently featured in Hot Topic, it doesn't mean Juan can't do artwork for you. He has affordable rates and he's willing to work for you, and he's willing to give you a discount on your first artwork purchase. $20 off any design. That's a design for yourself, a friend, family member, maybe a logo for your big or small business. Juan Ortiz and Of the Dead Designs can make it happen. So you should definitely contact him. Follow him on social media. Send him a message. He's at Of the Dead Designs over on Instagram, facebook.com/ofthedeaddesigns, or go to his website, ofthedead.weebly.com, because Juan Ortiz and Of the Dead Designs is bringing artwork to life. Weebly. I feel like the Weebly little squeaky thing was not necessary, but we did it anyways.
Weebly did it again.
All right, so we're back, and now we are going to talk about what I feel like everyone's talking about. It aired very early because they're overseas this week.
Breast pump videos on YouTube.
You can watch those anytime, I guess.
But
I'll
put one on right now.
Well, I'm sure you will. And I was surprised they started the show with it. But John Cena cut his first bad guy
Dude, they
promo.
didn't even talk about it the rest of the show. So I came home from work early to watch this.
Yeah.
And I came in the second half of the show. I said, perfect timing. I can watch the last hour of Raw, and I'll catch the Cena promo. And I kept waiting. Then there was the main event, and I was like, oh, it's after the Braun Breaker-Finn Balor match. And then they were like, and that's the evening. Good night, folks, from Brussels.
Bye.
And I said, what the? And I rewound it, went all the way to rewind. Is that what people do still?
Rewind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I rewound it. I went back to the beginning, and we kicked it off live.
Yeah, so it was, I didn't know what to expect. There was a lot of speculation, like what type of new look will we get from John Cena. Actually, as we record this and as the show aired, I don't know if you know this, but 20 years ago today was the first time that he ever came to the ring to his current theme, My Time Is Now. So people were speculating 20 years to the day he's going to have a brand new theme song. And he didn't have any of those things. And at first you're like, Now, his march to the ring was a little different. We didn't get the usual John Cena run. We definitely had a scowl on his face. He walked, took his time getting in the ring, let the crowd do what they're going to do. And, man, you know what? At first I was like, this kind of sucks that it's going to be like a 3 o'clock show overseas and not here in the States where everything went down. Well, actually, technically it happened in Canada, but you get the general idea. I sort of wanted it to be here, but you know what? Being in that sort of atmosphere with that crowd that's kind of starved for live WWE content, I think it made for the best atmosphere possible. They immediately are doing the John Cena sucks on the way to the ring, and there was a wide variety of chants that were happening. Fuck you, Cena, and we want Cody, and they were dueling Cena sucks and we want Cena chants. And he basically said, you guys are making this so easy. For 25 years, I've been the victim. More Cena sucks chants broke out. He followed that up by saying, all you do is be hurtful. All you are is abusive. And all you've ever done is bully me into being your damn puppet and expected me to do it with a smile on my face. No more. Now, before we continue, we've talked about it on the show, and I'm glad that someone actually cut a promo like this. Pro wrestling in general can be a very abusive relationship. I would argue that it's the most abusive relationship I've ever had in my life, but for the first time, to my knowledge, someone actually verbalized that, and it was arguably the top wrestler of the last 20 years, John Cena.
I felt like it was a perfect promo for him. As a Cleveland Browns fan and a Cleveland sports fan, I often said I felt like I was in an abusive relationship. I kept going back. I still keep going back to these damn Cleveland Browns. And as much as they verbally and physically and mentally abuse me, I'm right there to watch them the next season, the next game,
Yeah.
the next week. I don't know what it is about us, but I think as human beings, we're creatures of habit, and it's a habit for me to return to my favorite team or my local team.
Yeah.
John Cena mentioned he's a human being, and I remember you telling me he wasn't before.
What?
Yeah, you were like, fucking robot Cena.
I never said
You
that.
damn robots.
He did call himself the prototype at one point, and he did talk like a robot. As you just mentioned, Cena went on to sort of embrace the heat and suggested that he is not a face, he's not a heel, that he is, in fact, a human being. And, then he started to talk about how, hey, you don't get a new theme song. You don't get a new look because you guys dress like me. I don't dress like you idiots. And when he actually started calling the crowd idiots, what a shitty insult for an adult to say to someone. But it felt,
I love idiot. Though.
It felt real coming from John Cena because he doesn't say stuff like that. And
who used to do that? Was that Jericho who called everybody stupid idiot or dumb idiot? Or
yeah, stupid idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think as far as not changing the song, not changing the look, honestly, despite the speculation and these fantasy booking things, I think it's better that he doesn't do it. You know why? Because as soon as he changes the look, as soon as he changes the theme, everybody that wants to cheer him goes, "Oh, I like the new look of John Cena. Oh, I like that new theme song." We
were booing him with the jorts and the old man New Balances.
Yes.
Of course he changes because I thought, okay, so this graphic came out online, maybe a meme or something, and it was John Cena in the throwback jersey with the chain on and the hat backwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they got a sneak peek at tonight already. He's coming out like that. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be great. Oh, that's going to kill his heat.
That would get cheered.
Yep.
Can't be Thugonomics Johnson.
Nope.
Come on.
And then I thought at the end, when he walked back through the curtain or through the gorilla into gorilla, I thought he'd throw up the W word life hand symbol.
Nope.
He didn't do that. And he would have ruined it, had he.
That's because you get nothing. And John Cena said that. He said, you get nothing. You get what you have earned, and what you have earned is nothing. He also went on to, obviously, he talked about the Cena sucks crowd, but then he went on to talk about the Let's Go Cena fans. Let me just give you the exact quote about the new look thing. You don't get a new look because you dress like me. I don't dress like you idiots. You don't get new music. This is my voice on that song. And this was a powerful line. Your time is finally up, and my time is finally now. The only thing you get to take is a long look in the mirror to see how awful each and every one of you have been for 25 years to me. They're chanting for Cody Rhodes. Cena kind of gets upset about that because they want to put him out to pasture and they want to chant for the shiny new toy. And when he talked about the We Want Cena fans and how they suck too because they just basically leached off of him while he went into the ring and did all the work. And they try to live vicariously through his successes when they just, essentially sat on their asses. And the best part was him mentioning, pointing out the people in the crowd with the Cena shirts on, and then particularly one kid in the front row, and they show this kid who looked like the Rizzler's brother.
Yeah.
Where it's and you can just tell this kid looked dejected.
Dejected was a perfect word because that's exactly what I said when I saw him.
Mm-hmm. It was a really great promo. Of course, it ends with Cody coming out and saying where's the John Cena that's on that T-shirt? Blah blah blah. Cena tried to call him a kid. He said it's WWE champion, and he said if this is a Cena that we get at WrestleMania, I'm going to put you into an early retirement. So give me the John Cena that I know, not this whiny little bitch.
Give me what I want.
And I think this was a strong promo to start. I think it's only the beginning. So we have at least 2 more weeks of John Cena. And here's my thought. Okay, I thought it was a good start, and I think it's just going to build and build and build and get better. Because maybe some people are like, Well, no physicality. Well, we're not going to get physicality yet. And some people maybe thought, like, well, where was Cena's response back to Cody? We also didn't really, outside of his rationale behind turning his back on the fans, because all they want is to take and take and take, and there's never any give. We don't really get a reason why he forms the alliance with The Rock. We kind of have an idea. He talks about in his promo how the fans got mad at him because he wins and he wins and he wins and he wins. But what he left on the table, which I think is a comeback for Cody, is like, you've lost for like the last 2 years. And that stench of desperation, I think, is what is ultimately the reason why he aligns with The Rock. But how is Cena going to spin it? How is Cody going to spin it? I think that's something to look forward to. And also, look, John Cena, love him or hate him, when it comes time to sell a pay-per-view, I don't know if there's anyone better on the go-home to a show. And I don't know if we're going to get him on the go home, but whatever the last appearance for John Cena is before this Mania, I have a feeling he's going to, as the kids say, cook Cody Rhodes, because think about all the times in the years. I mean, he's been a babyface for, 23 years? Think of all the times where he was babyface versus babyface in a promo, and he annihilated someone so bad to where you could kind of go like, geez, like, it was kind of a heel move by John Cena. They're like, what was it, the time he destroyed Rock?
That's what I was going to bring up. I mean, if we're talking about The Rock, we got to talk about how he called him out for having his notes written on his hand. That's where I
go. When he did the thing with Roman, I want to say like 2015, 2016, like when they were trying to at first make Roman the next guy, he just fucking demolished him on the mic. I'm trying to think of other guys over there. I don't remember specifically if he did it to Seth. He didn't ever demolish Punk, but they definitely had some good back and forths. There was a more recent one that I can't quite recall.
Punk wasn't as intimidated.
Austin Theory.
Oh, I wanted to say that one.
The Austin Theory
Not
promos.
that he was a babyface, Austin Theory, but
he
still just murdered him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the John Cena promos, like they've always sort of, when he's like doing the go home, they sometimes could border on being heelish. So when it comes time for him to go home to cut this heel promo on Cody, I think he's going to scorch him, and I'm looking forward to that because it's going to. I do think his desired intent, which is smart, is to genuinely have everyone hate him, but I still feel like his go home is going to be so good that it's like it's going to be rough, and I have a feeling that at WrestleMania, I don't think the crowd is going to turn on Cody. I want to put that up front. But I do think in that moment, I think people are going to want to see Cena, whether he's a heel or not. I think with the change in character, they're going to want to see him win the WWE Championship. Once that happens, though, I think they're going to get on board, and not because they necessarily truly dislike him, but I think they're going to be willing to go along for the ride and boo him following WrestleMania, and hopefully in the end see Cody get his comeuppance and get the championship back. What do you think about all that? How do you think the promos are going to shape up, and what do you think is going to happen at WrestleMania with the crowd?
Just like what you said, I think they're going to ramp it up, but I think Cody can handle it. I think Cena can go hard, and I think Cody can absorb and then punch back. So we'll see. It's interesting right now. This is way better than if it was baby matchup.
Yes.
And there wasn't all this extra heat involved. So and there's layers. Again, if there's anything we've learned over the past several years of Triple H's booking, it's that these guys, there's layers. Right?
Yeah.
So this whole Rock thing, that can come out. It don't need to be today. I just need to hear Cena talk today. I was going to be pissed if he threw the mic down again and walked away. And I was a little worried, but I said, no, they're way too far away, and they can't do this.
Right. Something interesting that just got announced, which people have been speculating. Something for Emily, not quite, but they just ironically announced that the Saturday and Sunday of WrestleMania, none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin will be signing autographs as part of the Fanatics gimmick that they have WrestleMania week. Now, mind you, I said WrestleMania week. It's not like it used to be 20 years ago where it was like a day or a weekend. These guys are making appearances from like Tuesday or Wednesday to Sunday. So Austin could have done any of those days. He's in Nevada, but he's still a couple hundred miles, if not a little more, from Las Vegas. Of all the days, he's doing particularly Saturday and Sunday, which now puts us in a potential of having Austin on WrestleMania. And look, if he makes an appearance in that main event, which I think it's a good possibility, it's redemption for not having it last year, in my mind. All it needs to be is Stone Cold Steve Austin, glass shatters, Cody is, in a predicament where it's both John Cena and The Rock on him. No one on the roster wants to get in their bad grace. But, Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't have to worry about that. He doesn't give a damn.
Yeah,
okay?
and he's also been through this before.
Yeah, he's anti-authority, so he doesn't give a shit. So he comes out, glass shatters. I think he evens the odds. I think finally, which I wanted last year, we're in the timeline where one last time, and listen, considering that his last stunner at WrestleMania was against fucking Vince McMahon and it was horrible, his potential final stunner at WrestleMania, I think it's fitting that it happens to The Rock. We get that ridiculous sell one more time.
You think that's what it... Okay.
What?
I think I have a different view.
Okay, well, here's how I think it goes. I think he evens the odds. He takes out The Rock. And, maybe he takes out The Rock and then maybe fucking Cena fucks off Austin. And it just comes down to Cena and Cody again. Then Cena does some sort of shenanigans. Maybe Travis Scott's involved somehow. And I think in the end, Cena still wins. But I do think we get that moment and that hope that even though the odds are against Cody Rhodes, even though Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the greatest of all time, comes out to help our top babyface, I think in the end, bad guy, human being John Cena prevails and he becomes the 17-time WWE champion. What do you think is the scenario at WrestleMania?
Glass shatters, big pop. Austin comes out, the heels powder. He slaps hands with Cody, pulls him in for a hug, hugs Cody, looks at The Rock. The Rock looks at him. The Rock does the throat slash gimmick. Stone Cold turns against Cody.
Get out of here. That's not happening.
And he never gives him the stunner
Get
because
out
he
of
doesn't want to
here.
give the people what they want.
No.
And that's how it ends.
That doesn't even
for
make
Stone
any
Cold
sense.
forever.
No, Stone Cold's not coming back. So, what the fuck? Come on.
No, I mean, I think that it's the whole swerve then. He could pull in Cody, the hug. Cody backs off a second like, oh, I just went through this. And everybody knows that the rattlesnake strikes.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And he ends up sharing a beer with The Rock, but then the stunner.
In the middle of the match?
I think so.
That's absurd.
Everything's absurd.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens at Mania. I wanted to say one thing that I heard that I found was very interesting, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it because we were speculating a couple weeks ago where we thought this was going to go. And it seems like, again, WWE is in like such an all-star roster situation that there isn't very many wrong answers. But, Simon Miller, right, from What Culture?
I do.
He had an interesting theory.
Not personally.
Yeah. I met him once. Good guy. So he had an interesting booking theory, which I kind of liked. He threw out a scenario. He said, what if, because SummerSlam is 2 nights, John Cena wins the belt, and then, he didn't say this exactly, but now I can see him, we talked about in the show, a scenario where he goes on this nostalgia tour of past opponents, but it's different now. Like him and Orton. Orton as a babyface, Cena as a bad guy. That's great. Shit like that. What if comes SummerSlam? 2 nights. One of those nights is tag match main event. The Rock and John Cena versus someone like Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, based on the CM Punk Goosebumps promo. He's fucking pissed off at him, blah, blah, blah. And we fast forward, and we were saying that before the end of the year, John Cena becomes a babyface again. He sees the light. Then he goes, he has his whatever last match on the December show, which may or may not be called Ruthless Aggression or some shit. Simon said, what if that last pay-per-view is for the championship against Cody, and he's still a bad guy, and then Cody wins it back there right at the end. And then we still got a couple weeks left for John Cena to see the light. I kind of like that scenario. Like if he goes out putting over Cody in his last match. Like I was like, well, what's his last match after Cody? Maybe Cody is the last match.
And then he goes to hug him, and then he looks, and The Rock gives him the countdown and the throat slash sign, but he gives Rock the finger. You know what I mean? And him and Cody raise each other's arms in victory. And yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the road to WrestleMania is going to be pretty interesting, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm not excited to, not trying to make it about me, but not excited to be sitting in a sling for this. And I was hoping to maybe go to one night and see Johnny perform, assuming he's on WrestleMania. But I'm going to be in a sling, and it'll probably be the only night of the year that I eat bad food because I'm going to be so, literally. So I'm talking to Gargano about this yesterday. He's like, well, at least you could eat terrible for the next few months. I'm like, that's not going to happen. What the fuck? I'm not going to be doing anything. So you think I'm not going to be burning any calories at all, and I'm just going to be sitting around eating fattening shit? No, I'm going to eat less probably. He's like, that's a bad idea. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I'm not going to want to just sit around and eat pizzas all day. I'm going to hate myself even more.
Seems like a good time to do it.
No.
Yeah.
Because then I got to work all that off.
Are you afraid of a little hard work? Are you, Junior?
No.
Are you, kid?
No. Anyhow, you want to do some questions?
Pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Okay. Hey, are you excited that Happy Gilmore 2 is going to come out on, I believe, July 25th?
Yeah, but I'm not happy and excited that you'll be in a sling watching it.
I will not be in a sling anymore.
We'll see.
According to my mathematics, I would be out of my sling May 2nd. Friday, May 2nd.
Oh, just in time for my birthday.
That is just... Isn't your birthday May 3rd?
Yeah.
Oh, so
what are we going to do?
You're going to go to the Breaking Down Barriers show for Mega Championship Wrestling, because that's on May 3rd.
If I'm booked.
You don't think you'll be booked?
I don't know, man.
I hope Mad Dog comes out of retirement again.
If he does, I'll put him back into retirement, brother.
Oh, my God. What are you doing? What are you saying?
He's going to get mad and send me a strongly worded Facebook message.
Hey, brother. Anyways, let's take some questions from social media, starting, of course, with Patreon members first. We'll wrap this up and take it home after that. Let's see. Eric Phillips. Let's start with Eric. Get his dumb, asinine questions out of the way.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Eric?
Thank you. He said, are you babyface, heel, or a human being? I would say that considering my current situation, I am a human being. Well, we didn't mention this from the promo.
I think you're going to be more of a Snorlax after this
Please
Friday.
Stop the Pokemon references. I only like Strokemon references. Eric also said, how are you doing after being dumped by John Cena? I did like the reference at the end of the promo, like that he was dumping all the fans. We're breaking up. We're through. Interesting. Juan Ortiz says, have you considered after your surgery, your arms becomes really good at pitching and you join the Chicago Cubs in a Rookie of the Year situation? Listen, I would love if that happened. In fact, as a kid, I wanted to kind of break my arm in hopes that I could join a Major League Baseball team and become a star pitcher.
You would have to know how to play baseball, though.
Hey, listen, I would play baseball all the time, my friends, and occasionally I would hit the ball and get on base. Okay?
Bitch, you used to tell me, what ending is it? Is it the third ending?
That's not.
It's an inning.
That's not a thing that I would say. You made that up. I more so than being a good pitcher, though, I would hope that I could hit someone with my messed up hand and they would respond with, oh, funky butt loving, which I never heard before or since Rookie of the Year. No one has ever used the term funky butt loving. Yeah, you've seen Rookie of the Year, yeah?
Someone did use that term with me once.
Really?
Then I punched him in his butt.
I was going to say, it's probably that guy you punched in the butt. I will say, I don't have it hung up in the kitchen yet because, of course, my brother, Zach Thomas, is not a fan of a lot of the artwork that I enjoy. He did just recently, it took, 4 or 5 months? He just recently finally hung the photo, the artistic photo of the bear at the beach with sunglasses eating a cheeseburger.
Oh, cheeseburger.
He finally hung that up in the kitchen. But I also have a photo of Daniel Stern from Rookie of the Year, and underneath his photo, in his Chicago Cubs outfit, it says, "Let the big dog eat." And I figured you can hang that in the kitchen because he is saying, "Let the big dog eat." So, like, if you're going to eat some food, you could look at this photo of Daniel Stern for inspiration and then proceed to think that you are, in fact, the big dog, and then you could eat.
You should hang up a photo of Roman Reigns with it.
No.
He was the big dong. The big dog.
Big dong? When you hear the dong of The Undertaker's music, you got to go hide. Let's see. Uncle Bobby says, what do you think of the theory that Die Hard and Ghostbusters exist in the same universe and Sergeant Powell accidentally shot a kid during the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man incident in New York, and that's why he moved to L.A.? How is this a real... I don't know anything about this theory. I asked Uncle Bobby for a link to follow up on it. I mean, it's definitely interesting.
Bruce
But
Willis just died, didn't he?
he's still alive, but he can't speak anymore.
No, I think he died over the weekend.
Really? How would I?
I don't know, but yeah, it seems like we would have heard. This wouldn't be a thing that we'd be checking on
Yeah.
if it really happened, so maybe not.
Well, thankfully, still alive, and thankfully, he's 69.
So when he does go, do you feel as if he will die hard?
I'm not even going to make a joke about that because I like Bruce Willis.
I think he was great.
And
I
I
loved
think-
The Last Boy Scout.
think-
I loved Moonlighting.
Yeah. What was his? Wasn't no? I was going to say was that the TV show he was on, Moonlighting?
Yes.
Okay, because I was about to say, like, oh yeah, that TV show, and I was going to say Evening Shade, but that was Burt Reynolds, and I feel like I'm an old man by even knowing that Evening Shade was a show. That seems
Yeah,
like something
really,
a
that's-
small child should
right.
not have watched. Why was I watching Evening Shade?
I don't know if you watched it, but it might have.
I watched it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
What about Silk Stockings?
Well, that came on after Monday Night Raw, and I always thought that and La Femme Nikita, because I was a little kid, I was like, oh, that's like porn, so like I want to kind of watch this, but I don't want to get caught.
Yeah,
you know?
little did you know you'd have YouTube in 30 years and be able to watch women pumping their breasts from the milk out of them.
Okay. Let's see. Eric also asked on
Eric!
Patreon, what song would you choose for your comeback montage? You know what? I'm going to name a bunch of stuff that you guys are not going to know and probably no one else will like because I like...
Cotton Eye Joe.
No!
Oh.
Who would use that for a comeback song?
Yeah, I don't know. You said it was something that no one would think of, so I came up with something.
because I like a lot of like pop punk bands, so it's like State Champs or Boys of Fall or something fucking or a day.
Those
What?
are all bands I'd make fun of you for liking.
Shut up. Or a Day to Remember, and I say a Day to
Boys
Remember
of the
because
Fall.
a Day to Remember has a lot of songs about traveling, playing in front of no one, playing in front of a bunch of people, sleeping in their vehicle,
You're messing up if you're not on that Big Time Rush train right now.
like the band Rush.
Yeah, no, Big Time Rush.
Who the fuck is Big Time Rush?
Oh. You'll look it up one day, you'll see.
All right. Well, I don't know anything about
So
it.
to all you people out there listening, all my airheads, just want you to know I love Big Time Rush and I can't help it.
You know, we're gonna have to start banning Eric, like Conan and Disco ban people from their show because this
He's
next
suspended
question.
for a week.
This next question is: what are some of your favorite memories of Rob Terry? Like, come on, man, what are you doing right now? I liked when he used to have that
I
faux
like
hawk.
when he flexed.
He had that affliction shirt that was 3 sizes too small. Like, what do you want me to say to that? Who else do we got from Patreon? Matt Swiss.
Hey, what about your favorite Josh Terry moment?
I don't even know who that is.
Of course you wouldn't.
Who's Josh Terry?
That kid I went to school with in 3rd grade.
Why would I know that?
I don't know. I just thought maybe if you were telling your favorite Rob Terry stories, maybe you knew Josh Terry.
Matt Swissack says, my mom is 78 and has become a huge wrestling fan over the past year and a huge Cody Rhodes fan. And to her, it's 100% real. Am I an asshole for wanting him to lose the title or turn heel to see her disappointed reaction? No, but it's very self-serving, Matt, because it's really for only the benefit of you seeing your mom get very upset. And there's really no payoff unless you like record it as it happens and post it on YouTube. But I feel like the majority of people would be very upset by that. And it would really hurt business, I feel like, if Cody Rhodes turned heel, which is why John Cena turned heel, because we don't have to depend as much on John Cena merchandise in the WWE now and things like that.
And plus, is there a point in your life where you're like right now, like you're like, I can't buy that Braun Breaker shirt because he's a heel.
No.
I wouldn't buy that Braun Breaker shirt because it says meaner than mean or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it affects sales to some extent, but I don't think it's as. I feel like over the last even 20 years, like before Cena was really a thing. Like, look, as a kid, like I'm a teenage kid, I was like, oh, I want a Triple H shirt. And he was
I
like,
wanted a DX shirt that said "Suck It."
Yeah.
I want an NWO shirt. Those are all heels.
Yeah, and like but even when Triple H was out of DX, like the "I Am the Game" shirt.
Yeah.
Well, also it helped that it had like little swear words on it. So if you put a swear word on your shirt, like "I am that damn good."
Hey,
what?
even though Logan Paul is a heel, would you get a "I Am the Table" shirt?
See, that's more of a Botchamania thing. I would get that
Yeah,
for the Botchamania.
how about Juan come up with that? Get a design.
I'd be surprised if he didn't already come up with that. Josh Excellent says, on a recent episode, Greg mentioned Breaking Bad possibly being the best TV show ever, and in my opinion, it's definitely in the conversation. What are some of your other favorite TV shows, and why aren't any of them Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Well, so I was never a Buffy guy. Actually, my best friend Ron.
Ron Terry?
No,
Oh.
Ron Reedens. He actually was a big Buffy guy as a kid. He liked Buffy and Angel. I've never heard bad things about it. I always felt like it was not my cup of tea. I know friend of the show, listener, Cherry Bomb, Allie, whatever she was, the bunny, she actually is a big Buffy fan. It was just never my jam. I mean, I always had a crush on Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
But, I mean, what was the movie she was in? With her boobs hanging out? What was it?
Oh, yeah, she did her brother.
Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, those were some really cruel
Ooh,
intentions.
boy.
I had some bad intentions watching that
I'm sure
movie.
you did. So, would you ever watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Maybe if she was doing like a breast milk tutorial on how to pump that.
Wasn't a thing that happened on the WB.
Really?
That did not happen.
I thought it was like working boobs.
I have seen several
WB.
times the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie from like 1991 with
never seen it.
Luke Perry.
Yeah.
But so as far as best shows, what would you rank up there? Because I would say Simpsons is an all-timer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still on.
I mean, if I go from like when I was a kid, I think my first favorite show I remember was The Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, no, it's not favorite. Best shows
Yeah.
ever.
Well, my shows won't be the best because, like The Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
That was a favorite. And so then I didn't watch like good shows. I watched that one. Because as soon as those guys got back to the farm, lost sheep to shepherd, they'd be back there and nobody could touch them. You couldn't go to jail if you got back to your farm.
Yeah, that's how that works. Dang it.
So,
They got away again.
Cheers was great from what I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
Seinfeld I liked. I
Sure.
liked the humor in that. Gosh, I can't. It's been so long since I watched TV shows. I'm sure there's a million that I'm forgetting. Martin.
Martin was great.
No, it wasn't. It was one of the worst shows ever.
What? Come on.
Terrible. God awful.
I don't know if I would say
it was
best
good.
show of all
Cosby
time.
Show was good.
No one's going to ever watch Cosby again.
Nope, and that's too bad because that episode with Stevie Wonder, I'm jamming on the one.
I think The Boys is going to go down as one of the greatest shows of all time for sure. They got one more season.
I think there's too many shows now.
Because like everybody is like, because everything's made like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
people like they take time and the writers are so particular and intricate about everything that like and everything matters, and I think that's what makes it important. Like Stranger Things, I'm looking forward to the last season of that. Like hopefully they don't botch the spot and ruin it, but I think it's going to be great when that finally comes out. I think long term, based on how cool the first season was, I think it comes out at the end of this year. Peacemaker's fucking great, dude.
Maybe the all-time best for me was The Shield.
You know what? People did love The Shield.
Yeah.
I never watched it.
Well, I asked you to watch it, and you're only on Season 6, Episode 8.
That's not true.
That's
I've never
me
watched
and
one episode.
Karate Girl.
Yeah. Who the hell's Karate Girl?
What's it called? Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai is one of the best shows of all time, in my opinion.
Not
I think
that I've seen.
I think for some people it's
What a
kind
real
of
piece of
corny.
shit.
Like I tried to get Atticus Cobra to watch it, and on one road trip, like I was like in the middle of a season, and he's just like, it's so cringy.
Yep.
Like it's cringy to watch.
It's like 90210 and Saved by the Bell
it's filmed
start
like
fighting each other.
it's filmed like a soap opera. Like that's like from the 90s. That's part of the problem
It
for
was
some
good
people.
though. The first few seasons.
It's still good.
I haven't seen anything good, but I'm still working on it. We'll get there, especially while you got this time off. I'll be able to watch it.
I'm trying to think. I mean, like I can't attest to it, but people always say like, The Sopranos or whatever the fuck, and you know what I've always wanted to watch because I never was a big Seinfeld guy, but anytime I watched Seinfeld, anytime I dropped in on it, I understood the humor and I got it, and I can see why it's one of the best shows of all time. I always wanted to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, and at some point, that's something I'm going to binge. I'm going to binge that at some point.
One of the shows that got canceled that I really loved was called Louis. It was Louis C.K.
Okay.
And I thought that was a fantastic show. There's an episode where he's like a 38-year-old man, and he's in a bar, and there's like a 23-year-old woman who comes up to him, and she's like, hey, I just got a thing for old guys. Can we just go back to your apartment and do it? And then they do, and she's like, tell me how old you are. And he says a couple different things about how the prices were when he was a kid, and then eventually he gets to it. He says, like, I'm older than every Major League Baseball player right now except for Jamie Moyer.
Oh, my God.
And which Jamie Moyer was 42 in the Major Leagues at the time.
Yeah.
Just like your dream of being in Major Leagues.
Well, that dream has died. So, I guess I'll just end this by saying, like, when I'm thinking about, shows as a kid, cartoons that withstand the test of time that you can watch and are, like, I think adults can watch right now if they never watched it back in the day. I think Batman, the animated series, and X-Men really changed the game for a more adult-style cartoon in the 90s, and I think they still hold up. I mean, there's a reason why we got a sequel to X-Men with X-Men 97. It would be nice if they did something. I know they've had follow-up Batman movies over the past couple decades. Not the same since the voice of Batman passed away a couple years ago. But
Adam West?
No, not Adam West. The guy who has done the voice since the animated series started back in 92. But yeah, I don't know. Those are my picks right off the top of my head. Let's see. Who else do we got here from Patreon? I didn't even check Patreon to see if we got any questions there, so I'll look in a little bit here.
Hey, when you're done, I got something for you.
What do you got? Well, I'm looking.
I want to do an old segment for one more time.
What do you got?
Hulk Hogan's Lie of the Week.
Is there a lie?
I believe so.
What's the lie?
I believe that it's not even Hulk Hogan that's lying this time, though.
Okay.
It's the child's father that has accused Hulk Hogan that his kids cried because Hulk left his autograph signing early. And I'm thinking, whose 8-year-old gives a shit about Hulk Hogan right now?
So
it's this old man who's racist and tan and flabby and can't rip his shirt, and he left the autograph signing early. What kid loves that guy? He's been booed mercilessly.
Hold on. So no kid is going to understand that if your parent is telling you that this is a good person. Like I don't know if like an 8-year-old kid is really understanding what racism is, especially if I'm this is a white guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they understand that, but like I would, if I'm 8 years old, I got no interest in Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but
I watched him come out on Raw.
But again,
and get booed.
If you're living in a bubble and your parents are telling you and showing you they're not showing you the Donald Trump stuff. They're showing you old Hulk Hogan
stuff. I'm not even into that. I don't even know if the kids would care about that at all. Just him coming out on Raw and getting booed and looking like an old-ass man.
You're assuming that...
And then if you watch the news, all you do is see the Hulk Hogan threw a beer can at somebody and split their head wide open.
So you think an 8-year-old kid is watching current
I don't know if
news?
they're watching
They're
current,
going
like
on
a full
Google.
episode.
They're going on Google and searching
there's
articles.
There's this whole thing like TikTok now, and it just shows this woman's head split open in a 12-second video. I think kids watch that. I know mine have.
Maybe, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I when I was 8 years old,
I just think it's bullshit. I think the dad lied. I want to do a whole talk about it.
Well, let's talk about it then.
Well, that's it. I think it's a lie. That's the lie. It's not Hogan for the first time.
So the gimmick is that supposedly, where was this at? Like somewhere in New York? Was that the deal?
Yeah.
Somewhere in New
Brooklyn, I
York
believe.
that Hogan was doing an meet and greet for the beer.
Huntsville? Yeah.
It was Alabama now?
No. It's in New York, but it's either
Okay.
Montgomery or Huntsville.
So he was doing a meet and greet for the beer, and he was supposedly only going to meet like 200 people, and it got to like, he showed up late, and it got to like 175, and this dude was like, claimed he was like 185 or something, and Hogan just got up and left. And so I did see a video of him like walking up to people in another line at another beer signing, or maybe this was a different guy saying like, oh, like, you guys better watch, Hulk Hogan's going to leave the signing and blah, blah, blah. And then like there was like a clip online of the dude with his kids in the backseat of the car, and the kids were like, we hate you, Hulk Hogan,
Yeah,
you
that guy.
suck. So like, I mean, I don't know. I based on Hulk Hogan's track record, I have no reason to not believe that this was a thing that happened. So I don't know. If you could do some further investigating and come back,
All right. We'll
Hulk
see about
Hogan
it.
fan lie of the week.
Yeah, really.
We can come back with that. Let's see what else we got here. There's nothing on the actual Patreon right at the moment. Let's go with Juan. One more question from Juan. Have you thought of getting one of those holster backpacks and putting someone on your back and use their arms like your arms to hold to do household tasks?
What a genius. Is that question was from Lanny Poffo?
That's from Juan Ortiz.
Well, because he's a genius.
Okay. Derek Sharp says, one more match or straight to retirement. I mean, I don't want to hurt my arm. I mean, you never say never in this business, brother. But I'm in a very different situation than most people. And like, listen, I haven't even had surgery yet. I don't know how I'm going to feel Friday. I don't know how I'm going to feel in 6 weeks
I have
from
an
surgery.
I
What-
definitely have an idea.
What's your idea?
You were talking May 3rd.
Okay.
Breaking down barriers.
Yep.
Gregory Iron
Mm-hmm.
one last match against his podcasting partner.
Okay. Well, that's
Aaron
not going to
Bauer.
happen because
Yeah. Yeah,
I will
it'll
have
happen.
just got out of a sling the day before.
That's right.
So I'm not wrestling.
right.
That's not happening.
Well, you're a pussy. So there.
So I'm gonna, you who have never been known as a wrestler,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna have a
I'll
match
wrestle
with
you.
me.
Yeah.
What's the
Here, I got a match for you. Your face and my ass.
Okay. All right. All right. Actually, I just saw one more question from Patreon. Kale over on Patreon asks, which wrestler doesn't have an action figure currently that you wish had an action figure?
I'm sorry, that he must have had a typo there. It's not figure, it's Dolly.
He did not say Dolly. No. What is he? My dad? My dad come back
Wrestling
from the
Dolly.
dead and rename himself Kale and sign up for
Oh.
Patreon?
Wow. What a story that would be. We should write that.
That's a horrible story.
Okay.
Anyways, does one come to mind for you? Someone who doesn't have a Dolly that you wish had a Dolly wrestler.
I think they're leaving a lot of money on the table by not bringing in the Hall of Fame version of former WWFE owner and billionaire Donald Trump.
No.
Don't you think they should have one?
No.
Why? Because you don't like the man's politics? You wouldn't want to sit there and beat him up with your Stone Cold action dolly?
That, I'm not going to respond to my feelings either way, but that is such a divisive thing to come out with that it's going to get nothing but problems if they
Oh, you're
release a
crazy.
figure.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Who cares?
Wow. You're really biased.
I think someone that should have an elite action figure with WWE right now Actually, I would like it to be an Ultimate action figure because they do like those big sets for like Muhammad Ali.
Just a guy. Give me one
Shut
name.
up! Shut up! They do like those big Ultimate sets for like Muhammad Ali, and they've done it for
have Tornado Punch.
Logan Paul. That's not what they do with these figures anymore, you dumbass. But Dennis Rodman, I think, would be a great signee to have an Ultimate figure, like an NWO Dennis Rodman figure. I think that'd be pretty cool. You could also have him like...
Oh, my gosh. And they have them where they're interchangeable, right? So you could take his head off and give him like a red hair or like a white hair or black hair.
I mean, they usually give him a couple different head scans, but I mean, like, I would imagine it would be whatever hair he had at the time.
Gosh. And then there was a time where he did the book signing and he was in a wedding dress.
Well, I don't know if they would do that. I would imagine they would stick with a specific wrestling theme.
I wouldn't. Wow, man. Dennis Rodman, that'd be a great figure to have.
I think so.
Yeah. I bet they have, like, basketball dollies of him, but no wrestling ones. I'd still go with a Trump one, though. I think a lot of people would buy it. You're mistaken if you don't think so.
I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm just saying it would create... It's not worth the trouble, I think, for WWE to...
Well, Rodman's trans.
He has announced himself as trans?
I don't know if he announced it, but he wore that wedding dress.
Okay, you can't just say that. If it doesn't, that
you
doesn't
can.
make you
I mean,
trans if you
Zuckerberg's
wear a
not
wedding
gonna
dress.
Fact check me.
Justin Rugg says favorite Simpsons episode and character. Oh God, it's so hard to call. I will say this. I'm not going to give you a straight answer because there's so many episodes that you could choose from. But I did just recently purchase my first shirt in a while. I remember the episode where Rod and Todd wore the "I'm with Stupid" shirt.
Yeah.
Someone made an "I'm with Stupid" style Rod and Todd shirt, so I did wear that, or I did buy that because I've always wanted an "I'm with Stupid" shirt, and I figured why not also make it Simpsons theme? So that's the route I go. But it's I always liked Ralph as a kid because I thought I did a pretty good Ralph impression.
By sticking your finger in your nose?
No, like the voice. As a kid, I think I did a good Ralph impression.
Go ahead, hit us with it.
I don't think I could do it now because
Why is it pressure?
When my voice changed.
Because you tore your pec tendon? Let's hear it.
Mrs. Krabappel. I can't do it anymore.
No,
it was
really
good.
bad.
It was better
really bad.
When I had a squeaky voice before I hit puberty. I could do a good Ralph impression. Where he says, like, I don't have a red crayon, and then she goes, why? And he goes, because I ate it. And I don't know.
Classic Ralph.
It's always funny to me. Do you have a favorite character from The Simpsons?
Dude, I mean, Homer's classic. That seems like that's such a common answer.
Yeah.
If I could go with maybe somebody who's not a main character, but a recurring character, give me a Sideshow Mel.
Yeah, I can see Sideshow Mel.
Yeah. There's too many. Man, The Simpsons. I would like to just sit here and do a Simpsons bonus podcast.
That would be fun.
I would like to sit and watch like several hours of The Simpsons and just come back and do this. Man, I mean, the principal, Skinner, what was his boss's name? Can't think of it right now.
Fuck.
Superintendent
Chalmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Always classic. Always good.
Yeah.
Apu.
Yeah.
Controversial now, but you know.
But always a good character.
Yeah.
David Ward says
Patty and Selma. Sorry.
they're great. David Ward says, "Do you miss work?" No, I don't. I don't miss my 9-to-5 job. I miss some of the people there, but I don't.
Well, are you going to see any of them? Make any time to see any of them, or is it just over?
I might. I might go pay a visit there after I get out of the sling.
Because, a lot of people will say, like, oh, we're getting out of high school. We have to catch, we'll have to stay in touch. Or, oh, you're leaving this job. We have to stay in touch. No one ever does.
Yeah, probably not. But I do. I mean, I like I like a lot of my coworkers, but it just I'm looking forward to having this time off to. I'm really going to buckle down and try to work on this book that I've been talking about for years and years because 6 weeks in a sling, guess what? I ain't got shit to do.
How you going to write? You ain't got no hands.
On my phone. I have a hand. My hand's still going to work.
But you can do talk to text. Too,
There is an app you can use, but you could use an app. My therapist told me about it actually, where it'll listen to you and it'll write it all for you, and then I could just go back and edit it. I don't know if I'm going to do that though, because I write different than I talk. So I don't want to say a bunch of shit and then be like, oh, that's not how I would write it. But I'm rambling. I'm just going to try to be productive, focused, motivated during the 6 weeks and do shit that I should have been doing. I got no excuse for the next 3 or 4 months to work on shit, to better myself, to better those around me, and just to be happier overall. Justin Cannon says, favorite Ninja Turtle film, favorite TMNT cartoon film and show. So, listen, part 3 gets a lot of shit because, it sucks. Time travel, not very good costumes in that one. It has a little bit of sentimental value with me because it's the only Turtles film that I saw in theaters. I am partial to 1 and 2. I think 1 is the best. Even though they didn't use the weapons in part 2, I always enjoyed 2 because it was more cartoony in a way. There are scenes that I do very much love in part 2, but I think I would always go part 1. Mutant Mayhem, though, I think it's the best one since part 1. So I really enjoyed Mutant Mayhem. And so it's, as far as the favorite film, cartoon-wise, it's either Mutant Mayhem or I'm going to go, I forget the crossover movie that they did the name of it, where they took Turtles from all of the different cartoons and they all came together in the same universe. But that was a fun movie that Nickelodeon came out with a few years ago. Aaron, I don't suppose you have an answer for this one.
I like the one where all the Ninja Turtles were women. That
didn't happen. That's Ghostbusters.
Oh, then my bad. No,
they did have a girl Ninja Turtle in
April.
They had an actual girl Ninja Turtle in like '97 when they did like a live action show.
What'd they call her? Because it couldn't have been an artist because women weren't allowed to paint back then.
That's not true. Hold on. Girl Ninja Turtle. It's not Venus.
Oh, Venus de Milo.
So that was the girl Ninja Turtle. Trying to see. Do we have another wrestling question? Jason Parker asks, "Had you have your surgery yet? How'd it go? It's Friday." This is a good way to end the show. The Road Dog, Jesse James, sent in a question and asked simply, "Do you have peace of mind?" Aaron, what is your answer?
Oh, gosh. Now I feel like I'm on the spot. I wasn't expecting a Road Dog question.
G-O-double-G wants to know.
Isn't he the head writer of SmackDown, head of creative or something now?
6 hours ago, he must have had nothing to do and decided to leave me a question for this podcast. So,
what was the question?
Do you have peace of mind?
I don't think I know. And if I don't know, what should I do?
You better call somebody.
There you go. Your thoughts.
I want to say it depends on the moment, but I feel like if it depends on the moment, then I don't truly have peace of mind. But I've been working towards it, and I don't think it's something that comes overnight. And I still have issues that I need to figure out. I still have things about myself I need to figure out, the reasons why I do certain things. I act certain ways.
You think it all goes back to your childhood? Do you think we're completely shaped from, by year 6 or something, where we're on that path? Or do you think we can change it and become better? Because I'm under the impression people don't really change. They change things about themselves. But you kind of always are stuck at that same... Okay, you may get new siding on the house, but the foundation stays the same.
Yeah. I don't think it's impossible to change. I think there's like certain things that are built into you from what you experienced as a kid. But I think through hard work and real effort, I think sometimes like you have to, I don't want to say push down. You have to let go of that first instinct that's built within you. Once you realize that, like, maybe that's not the way I should be acting or reacting to something, I think you need to restrain that feeling and go, like, what is the healthier way to react here? What is the better path to take? I think you have to, like, be willing to realize there's a problem and then consciously take those steps to change. I think the easiest way to compare it to me is, like, if I want to do something with my right hand, sometimes I've got to really, really think about it to get my fingers to move even a little bit in the way I want, or to get my arm to move in a way I want, or if I want to lift weights a certain way. I got to really like focus on the right side of my body. And I think if we really want to change something, we just have to put a lot more effort into it and like just try to be different than what is built into us. It's not impossible. I don't think it's impossible. I mean, look, if we want to make a wrestling comparison, look at Lex Luger. Look at all the shit that you hear people that worked with him for so many years, like what a piece of garbage he was apparently. And like, look at the 180 that he's made as a human. Look at the positivity that that guy exudes on a regular basis.
It almost felt like he died and then came back to life, Luger. And I don't know how close he was. I don't really, because I try not to follow the sad stories or the upsetting stories. But Luger, man, I think he was pretty bad off. And I wonder if he got to that low point, what they say, you hit your rock bottom.
Sure. I don't think it's impossible.
What's your bottom?
I don't know where you're trying to take that, but I feel like...
No, like your rock bottom here.
My lowest moment?
Yeah. Is it this?
No.
Physicality-wise?
No.
Okay.
No.
Was it in the hospital? After the Cleveland All-Pro Battle Royal or whatever that was?
No. I don't think anything that my lowest moment was ever physical. Honestly, I think it's always been something mentally that I didn't fully work through.
Yeah.
I think that's always been like my lowest moments. And I have to really think about what was the absolute lowest, but there are some low ones that come to mind, but I feel like that's a whole other podcast.
All right. Well, we
got
nothing but time.
Can you relate to that, though?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a great answer, and I think that's a great way to end the show. And if you'd like to hear more from Greg or follow his story or mine, we have social media.
We do. It is a thing that we have. Well, first of all, make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you download podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube as we continue to grow that. I'm going to try to bust out at least a couple more videos this week before I'm in a sling. I will be working with my buddy Sean Flash Robbins to maybe help me film some stuff while I'm down and out for the next 6 weeks, maybe even some of my journey and what I'll be going through day to day. So stick around for that on YouTube. And you can find me on social media. I am at Gregory Iron on X, at Gregory_Iron on Instagram, Facebook.com/TheHandicapHero. You cannot book me for pro wrestling or pro wrestling seminars. I mean, I guess maybe I might do something where I could do something online at some point, because I could still talk. I could still coach you for promos and psychology and stuff. But sure, why not? DM me for pro wrestling seminars and motivational speaking. I probably won't be traveling for the next 6 weeks in a sling, but perhaps we can work something out for the future. And if you'd like to donate to my GoFundMe, it is posted on my social media pages. Thank you again to Josh Newman for organizing that. I do appreciate it. It's going to help me in the next few months to buy groceries and pay my bills and just necessities that I might need that I didn't think about having basically no arms. And you can always buy a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/Gregory Iron. I still have tees in my own personal possession that I can send out for you. So DM me if you're looking for a particular size. Maybe I can hook you up. And I can do cameos as well. Just search Gregory Iron. Aaron, what would you like to plug?
You were talking about hard to find sizes for shirts, and you could probably hook people up. Would that be by cutting the tag off of them that says they're a large, and even though they requested a medium, and then just saying, here's a medium?
Hey, that's an old carny trick, and that's not how that works. What you do is, you rip the tag off. Like they say they need a large. You don't have a large. You go into your box, you rip the tag, you grab a medium. You hold, or you go XL. Either way, what you do is you hold it up to their chest, and you have them agree that this seems like it would fit. And once they do, then you sell them the shirt. Okay, that is an old card. I'm not saying that I did that. I'm just saying I know how it's done. And I saw
how much are shirts going for these days.
And also, I saw Sammy Callahan do that. If you would like a shirt directly from me, shipped, it's $35.
Okay, then how much are you still holding a grudge to Sandman for keeping $10 extra of yours?
I will always hold a grudge against Sandman because that was a dick move. I was an 18-year-old kid.
So you think he passed his trade on to you by being,
let me tell you
scamming
something. I've
Carney.
never scammed a fan. And second, okay, if they called me out on the scam and I knew I was scamming them, and then I just came to terms with the fact that, they know I scammed them, so I'm just going to say, yeah, I scammed you, basically, which is what Scam Man did to me. That's fucked up. I was an 18-year-old kid with only a $20 bill. He was charging $10 for pictures. I gave him a $20. I was starstruck. I went to walk away. I said, Sam, man, you didn't give me change. He said, you didn't give me a 20. And I was like, yes, I did. He's like, no, you didn't. I was like, yes, I did. No, I didn't. And then he's like, guess what? Pictures just went up to $20. So he was like, guess what? I just stole your fucking money and I don't give a shit. So fuck him.
Wow. So had he given you the $10, there's no heat then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you have done with that $10? Bought another Alyssa Milano 12-year-old workout
just
photo?
plug your shit so we can end the show.
At Fair to Aaron on Instagram. We'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Stick around for Patreon for our bonus episode on the Stone Cold Steve Austin Powers magazine cover.
Yeah.
Till next time, thanks for everything, and here's a kiss goodbye.